Good afternoon, Professor and my entire drama class, and welcome to my very first oral presentation. For this research project, I decided to interview my brother's longtime friend and roommate, Benji. Benji grew up in a small town in Arkansas with both his parents, one cat, and a lot of land. Benji described his childhood as wholesome and that he grew up in Pleasantville. Benji explained to me that he wasn't really sure what he wanted to do when it became to start thinking about possible career choices and what he wanted to major in college. He ended up entering his first year at Boston University as a business major. Very early on into the school year, he was recruited for the theater program by one of his friends. To his surprise, he landed a role in the ensemble of cabaret his first year of college. He explained to me that he didn't fall in love with performing at first, but he did really fall in love with the theater community, which isn't a surprise to my fellow theater kids because theater people are awesome. After 3 months of getting further involved in the theater community at his college, he decided to switch his major to theater. Benji explained that he was super excited to pursue theater as a future career, but who wasn't too excited about this was his parents, unfortunately, who were very concerned about his future and thought that it was a little unpromising getting involved in theater, which it kind of is. There is no clear path on how to become a successful actor, and you actually kind of become your own manager, which to some people may seem a little unpredictable and scary. Benji left me with a quote that I wanted to share with you all. He said, quote, "All I knew was I wanted to walk into work every day and be slapped in the face by inspiration." End quote. Benji was involved in countless performances in his college years and made lots of connections doing so. Right out of college, Benji moved down to LA where he met my brother and me. As soon as Benji moved to LA, he spent his nights working as a security guard for the CEO of Warner Brothers and his days going to countless auditions. Although Benji enjoyed his time doing plays in smaller playhouses, he wanted to move on to something bigger, which is where he ran into his second roadblock on his career: unions. Benji and I spent a majority of our interview discussing what a union really was, considering I had no prior knowledge on unions. The Actors Equity Association, commonly referred to as Actors Equity or simply Equity, is an American labor union representing those who work in live theatrical performance. What Benji explained to me was that he was able to do smaller performances because they weren't covered by the union, but in order to move up on the theatrical scale, he had to eventually sign to a union to do bigger performances. The problem, though, is that unions are very expensive, and Benji hadn't saved up enough money yet. Benji actually decided to start a GoFundMe for himself to be able to sign to a union to further his theatrical career. After a few months of raising money, Benji was finally able to sign to the union and start getting some bigger roles. During one of his performances, he actually was asked to try out stage management, which he eventually fell in love with and is what he does today. Stage managers are crucial for live theater. Benji explained them as almost like the bridge from cast to crew. They are very good at making sure the overall production of a performance is running smoothly and effectively. Alrighty, I hope everyone enjoyed my presentation, and I hope this taught you a little bit more about unions, stage management, and a very real experience on becoming a professional actor. And I hope that everyone learned that sometimes dreams change, and that's okay.